What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. Guys, in today's video, we want to talk about the unfair justice system in South Africa. Man, it feels like race plays a big role in the sentencing of people, not the crime, race. Can you believe that? Let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? People, do you know what's amazing in South Africa? This could possibly also be in the Western world, you know? I didn't even know that if you commit a crime in South Africa and you're black, you're probably going to get twice or 1.5 times more prison time than if you are white. I mean, this doesn't make sense. The judicial system is supposed to sentence people according to the crime they committed. Now, listen to this. A white guy killed, I think, a black woman, if I'm not mistaken, and he got 17 years. Deservedly so, right? But it's supposed to be life for life. I'm thinking it's supposed to get 25 years, but he got 17 years. Fine. That's a little solace to the family concerned because this person could outlive his prison sentence and come back into society. They're not going to get their daughter back, right? A man, a black man, was accused of being associated with the people or the person that murdered another black person. Now, they say this guy was on the scene and was possibly with these other people. They never got the perpetrators, but they got him. And video evidence shows that he was on the scene, but there's no video evidence of him participating in this murder. And there's no video evidence of him knowing these people. But according to them, because he was on the scene, he got 25 years. Now, how does this make sense? I mean, let's be honest, people. How does this logically? I mean, as a judge, I mean, a judge starts off as a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken, right? You start off as a lawyer because you get to know the law, and then you rise up to become an attorney, you get until you become a judge. What law school do you go to as a judge? I mean, these judges in South Africa, what law school do you guys go to? I mean, you are an embarrassment to the law society of South. You're an embarrassment to the justice system. You're an embarrassment to Africa. You're practicing illegal justice. You're practicing I don't know, a justice that you deem. It's not what the law, what you deem. Guys, there's supposed to be a set rule to say if you kill someone based on whether it's self-defense, then it's, let's say, no prison time, right? Because you kill a person in self-defense because they attacked you first and you were defending yourself, person dies, right? They say no prison time. If you kill someone, it must be 25 years. So why do other people get shorter sentences than others for the exact same crime? Why? Is it race-based now? Is that what the law teaches the law students at these law universities and all that? I mean, I don't want it to boil down to issues of race, but that is exactly what it's boiling down to. Now, these race conversations are getting tired. We cannot keep bringing race into every conversation that we have. But unfortunately, the supposed professionals, leaders, the think tanks in the fields of expertise are the very people that are manipulating, breaking, bending rules and laws to suit their own narrative. I mean, I would keep going back to the Oscar Pistorius case because that was a classical case of injustice by a lackluster judge who has no reason, no business, no expertise, no brain, no. I even dare say that that judge, according to that ruling, did not study law because Gerinel, the prosecutor, he showed beyond reasonable doubt that Oscar Pistorius killed his girlfriend intentionally. He intended to kill her. Premeditated murder. Even the gunshots on the door were aimed in one direction because he knew she was sitting on the toilet part. So that was intentionally done. He meant to kill her. Premeditated murder. What was that judge's first ruling for Oscar Pistorius? 3 years. Was it 5 years? Let's just say, give or take, 5 years. 5 years for a murder. 5 years for a murder. Now, what was it? Because he's a paraplegic, because he was a sportsman, because he was white. Because, all right, all right. No, it's not all right. How then do you give a black driver, the driver who supplied a name of a potential hitman or a hitman or hitman, to a mastermind who masterminded the killing of his wife while on honeymoon in South Africa? Now, the driver gets 18 years. The mastermind gets nothing, no prison time. The hitman gets life. How do you give a driver 18 years and Oscar Pistorius, a known cold-blooded killer, you give him 3 or 5 years? How? Please tell me how. The initial ruling was 5 years, was it 3 years? I can't remember, but it's a short time. How? How does that even happen? So this legal justice system in South Africa, is it even legal? Who sets the rules? Who's the one, or judges just use their own discretion to say like, oh, well, based on this, I think is that? No, 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 no. Judges, you don't get to decide how long someone gets to sit in prison for. You don't get to decide. That must be set in stone. You rape, 8 years. You kill, it's life. You this, it must be set in stone. There is no way every judge can have their own set. People, you cannot have the same crime being committed by different people and different judges give different rulings. That's not law. That cannot be the law. If I ask you now, what is the law on murder? You can't tell me that it's 25 years to life. Because some people are getting 17, some people are getting 15, some people are getting 7, some people are getting 3, some people are getting 5, some are getting a suspended sentence. Some are not even getting sentenced. So, what is the law on murder? You can't even say. I'm telling you, this country is going to the dogs. And by saying that, I truly mean it, man. You know, this country is becoming a free for all. Like I keep saying in almost every video that I have, the ANC must go. We are sick and tired of the ANC. They've done absolutely amazing stuff in the beginning, but as of late, they've done absolutely nothing but looted, corrupted, and done everything negative that can be possibly done in the history of nothing. So, to all the judges in South Africa, if you're listening, go back to the drawing board. Go and hand in your certificates. Go and hand in your degrees. Go and hand in whatever cloaks, whatever university you studied law in, and go and practice farming. Go and practice something else because you are stupid, you are useless, and you do not have consensus on what real law looks like. You come from home angry with your partner, and then you give some black person a harsher sentence because you were angry at home. Your partner made you angry. And then, to top it all off, you are so afraid of corporate South Africa, of rich South Africa, that you will not give a stiff sentence because you're afraid of the backlash that the rich society will give to you. And you know for a fact, like, they will prevent you from going to certain places, or they will blacklist you or blackball you, something like that. So that's why you give them lesser sentences. Man, this is not law in South Africa. This is a joke. It's like there's a law for two people. Wow. A law for different people. A law for the rich and a law for the poor. God forbid you're a poor person and you commit a murder. You're not going to see the light of day. But if you're rich, oh my goodness, you get to pick and choose what sentence you get. You get to pick and choose which prison you go to. And this is not law. There's just no law in South Africa. There's only a law against poor people. There's no law against the rich. Why? 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 Man, this is sad. Next, we get into the pros of a lawless nation, or being rich in a lawless nation. People having money, having influence, having what can I say? Having money, having influence, having rich parents, having a certain skin tone, skin color, really goes a long way in South Africa. I mean, if you are a certain race and you have money, or you come from money, or if you have influence, trust me, you will get away with anything. Guys, there's a classical story, right? So I just said now, race, if you're black, right? You're going to feel the brunt of it, right? Cool. Now, let's flip the script. If you're black and you have influence, will you go to jail? No. You see, look at the story of Jacob Zuma. The president, former president, sits in jail for, I don't know, a few months, a few weeks, and then he's out on medical parole, on this kind of parole. Then there's the case of Mike Mangena, a soccer player who was apparently, allegedly, caught with a drug manufacturing facility on his farm. Even if it wasn't his, but it was operating on his farm. Guys, have you heard that story? Do you see that story anywhere? Do you even know where Mike Mangena is? Do you even know how far that story is? Guys, I'm not sure if whether the law is only deciding to prosecute poor people, if whether the law is only designed for poor people, or whether the law is just designed to protect rich people or people of influence. If that's the case, then let's all become influential people. Let's all become rich people. And then let's see who the law will prosecute. Because it doesn't make sense that rich people or people with influence or people with money get to do as they please and still get away with it. I mean, this is totally unfair, guys. This is totally unfair. Totally, totally unfair. I can't understand why, for the love of God, for the likes of whatever, I cannot understand why countries decide on who is above the law and who's not. I mean, if a crime is committed, let's be fair. I mean, if the whole world can see it, why then? Why then are we blocking justice? Why then are we stifling justice? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense, guys. This is just not on. So we need politicians, judges, we need people of influence that can influence cases that are being judged, that are being ruled upon by influential people that can influence the outcome on influential people. Because it seems like judges have no influence over influential people, so therefore the judges are buckling under pressure because these influential people have influence over them. Does it make sense now? At the end of the day, it feels like we are going to implode simply based on the fact that the law doesn't do what the law is supposed to do. And at the end of the day, the law favors who the law favors. And if you're not the favored one, you're going to rot in jail. Sometimes, even for a crime you didn't even commit. Like in the case of Pitch Black Afro. Allegedly, he said he didn't commit any murder. But he was told by the judge, just take the fall for it. Need I say more? Hmm. Hmm. People, the negative impacts of lawlessness or judges who can be bought or swayed is beyond belief. What happens then when you have people who can manipulate, change, influence, and pay off judicial people? I mean, people, do you know that the countries that have the highest number of corrupt officials is the same countries that have experienced economic meltdowns? Now, if you take the most corrupt nations in the world, the most corrupt leaders in the world, the most corrupt justice systems in the world, you will see that those countries don't function as normally as they're supposed to. And we cannot allow that in South Africa. Unfortunately, not. That has to change. That has to change. So, all the judges from the top to the bottom, they must all go. All of them must go because they are either bought, they are either influenced, or they're either having friends or family or some sort of bribery is going on because the rulings don't make sense. Not one person of influence, not one person of major influence has ever been prosecuted in South Africa, sentenced like for life or for nothing. Not a politician, not a musician, not anyone affiliated to some political party or political member, not even their family members. And some of them have been caught doing the worst of the worst. When I say musicians, I'm not talking about now your kwaito singers and no. I'm talking about major artists that have been respected on a global stage. I mean, it's said that just because you were affiliated to the liberation struggle, that you can do as you please. That's just beyond belief. It's just beyond belief. Just because you know comrades, that means you can do as you please. Guys, that's not how you run a country. If this was a company, you'd be fired. So let that be a lesson. You run a country like you run a company. You run a tight ship. You do it professionally. You lead by example. You make sure that the next one doesn't do what this one is doing. That's how you run a country. You don't run a country by letting people know that if you're with us, then you can do whatever you like. That's totally unfair. Totally unfair. I can tell you now. I can tell you now. There are people in South Africa that have been, they not even have been, that are doing treasonous things. But because they are of a certain race, because they've got money and they've got financial backing from powerful people, those treasonous things are going swept under the rug. I mean, guys, this country is a joke. Really, South Africa is becoming a laughing stock. This is becoming a joke. So here's my 2 cents on the matter, right? I want to try it. I want to do something treasonous. Let's just say, for example, I'll say I want to let's give an example. Let's say I want to plan to overthrow the government, right? But I don't do it covertly, right? Covertly, right? I do it overtly. Like I come on social media and say, like, I want to overthrow the government and I want to do that and I want to do that. Guys, me as just a simple YouTuber, I'm gonna get another 25 years because now I said I want to overthrow the government. There are people with political parties who actually advocate for that with placards and all these things. They even post on social media and on TV and saying we need to break away. Nothing happens to them. Nothing. But you come on, yes, a black person, and you just say, "Yo, I want to break. I just want to become the next president. I'm going to throw away these. I want to overthrow these, old fossils and stuff." And then all of a sudden, wow, you're getting a lengthy sentence for treasonous sayings. This is crazy. This is really crazy. South Africa really needs to look at its justice system, and it needs to fire all the judges. None of them are doing anything. Stupid ass judges. Guys, let me know what you think about the topic in the comment section below. Was I on the money or did I totally miss it with this one?